Hey artists, how you doing? So today I wanted to just go over a couple of fan mail pieces. Thank you guys so much for sharing your experiences, your feedback. The last email and episode really got a lot of you chatting, which I love. It tells me a lot of you are doing commissions and also thinking through commissions, and looking to figure out how to make it work for you the best. So I really love that, and I wanted to congratulate you. And if you're listening to this now, it means you're still kind of looking to learn anything you can and just paying attention and making good decisions about your business. So I want to celebrate you for that. So I was trying to make this all fancy on my computer, and then I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna low tech it. But I wanted to share this first email with you guys in response to the pet portrait finding your clients video, which a lot of you have watched or at least requested. I don't know if you did end up watching it or not. I had to move it. By the way, I had to move it to my Artist's Guide to Business YouTube channel from my K Potter Fine Art channel. And unfortunately, I lost everybody's comments in that process. At the same time, my Facebook ad that led to that video, I also just lost every single nice comment you guys made on that. I'm heartbroken, but I will persevere. It's brutal. I don't think I can get it back. I'll try to find it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, let me just kind of read this email to you. I'm not going to, give away who this person is or anything, but I thought it was, I would have sat here and typed and written back to her. So I thought, why not just make it a situation where I'm, sharing with a lot of people while protecting her privacy, of course. Okay, so she said, "Hi, Kay. I'm reaching out to you because I just watched your informative video about how to find pet portrait clients. Thank you for putting that together. I soon went to your website and saw your adorable pet portraits. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'm a professional artist and have been creating large-scale murals across the US since 1999. Very exciting. That's, wow, quite a... I was born in the late 1900s as well. Or, so anyway, whatever. That's awesome. You've been a professional for a really long time. But that is a long time to be doing murals. That's a long time, man. Those murals, they're so rewarding, but they can be tiring. Over the last few years, I've been wanting to focus on painting on canvas. And after moving to a new city a year ago, I started marketing myself for pet portraits. I've already reached out to many people on your suggestions list: pet supply stores, veterinarian offices, doggy daycares, as well as posting on Facebook and Instagram. I've left super cute pet portrait postcards, and I'm slightly frustrated because I haven't had one single response. I'm not sure if people are holding on to their money because of the economy and all of the political chaos. Have you experienced any slowdown with your pet portraits? And if I may I please inquire what you charge for a 16 by 20 canvas? I haven't tried groomers, trainers, or dog walkers yet, but will now. I would truly be open to hearing any suggestions you may have. I'd be very enthusiastic to have a phone conversation with you if you have availability. Sorry, I didn't catch that part until just now. And I'd also love to invite you to visit my website. Okay. Very amazing. Thank you for such a detailed background and information about it. Just to let everyone know, I'm always open for coaching. You can find it on the Artist's Guide to Website store. You'll find it. Or just email me. I charge $125 for an hour for coaching. Generally, I like to get a little bit background information before we start in on the phone call or the conversation, because I want to have some sort of context. But anyway, enough about that. But I love that she's trying so many different things, and I completely get the frustration. Like, sometimes it's just like, I am doing literally everything I possibly can, and I just like, where are the clients? Why aren't they reaching out to me? Why haven't they found it? Like, what's going on? So we're just going to be very constructive about this. The first thing I noticed when I went to her website is her work is beautiful, incredible, and it has its own style, which I really appreciate. And I'm going to be saying her, even though I'm also sending this to you specifically, but I want to protect your privacy and your name, so it's a bit awkward. But love the website, very professionally done, and it focuses a lot on your murals, essentially because that's how you've made your career and that's what you've been doing. Great body of work, and everything's clean, everything's pretty professional. But the first thing I would say is there's nowhere on here that talks about your pet portrait commissions, probably because you're in this pivoting stage. There is a moment here where it says you are accepting new paintings and mural commissions, and then the find out more button takes you to sending you an email, which I like that. That might be a little intimidating for people looking for pet portraits. They might be searching for a little bit more information at this point, trying to gauge what your costs are, what the process looks like. They might be looking for more examples of your pet portrait work. Like I see a lot of your work here, and I would absolutely be like, oh yeah, she knows what she's up to, and I would trust her. Let me look at the gallery. But yeah, it's just, the lack is there's no pet portraits showing initially. There's a couple when I click more, and they're adorable. Oh my God, I love them so much. Yeah, so you're just in this transition period where you're moving away from murals to a different medium, but that's also a different client, right? So the things that have worked for you in the past with your, bigger mural projects may not work. Oh dear. Let me grab that. It's the dentist. Hi, this is Kay. Okay. Yeah. So what your clients might be looking for if they're looking for pet portraits is more examples of pet portraits. So what I would say is, because you are in this sort of transition state, you're probably like, is this going to be an option for me? Do I need to stick with murals? How do I continue? Like, I'm just testing the waters here. What I would say is that you can create yourself a single website or a single web page that has more examples of your pet portraits on it, and then that's where you want to link to with all the promotion you've been doing. So those 4x6 cards, all of that. Let me look at those real quick. Okay, yeah, all of those you want to send them to just one specific place that has pet portraits. If we're really testing the waters here, and if we're really trying to decide, like, is this an actual source of income or work for me, then when you send a customer somewhere or a potential client somewhere, you want to limit the information they get. Right? This is a mistake a lot of us artists will make. I'm not pointing you out at all. It's just in general, we have so much going on in our businesses and in our creative lives that we can create entire websites that are massive and have so many options on them. The point in my art business where I went from, I don't remember, like more of like a 45 to 50,000 a year type of revenue, when it leveled up big time to get me closer to that 90,000 and all of that, it was because I said, what are the 3 things that I'm going to show on my website? And what is the number 1 thing? What's the secondary thing? And then what's the other kind of just like, in case they come here looking for this, I'll give them a little direction. And the number 1 thing for me was live wedding painting. The number 2 thing was pet portraits. And then the last thing was something else. We don't need to talk about it. That's for a whole nother discussion. But the thing is, before I did this, I had a lot more dedicated to my pet portraits. The way my website works right now with pet portraits is very much minimal, because I am essentially not promoting them to new clients. I'm sort of just fulfilling old clients who pop back in and need a new portrait here and there. And so that's how my website is attracting and helping those people. But or it's not attracting, it's literally just saying, oh, hey, you already know me, you want this, we've already done work together. Let's, here's kind of the easy way to go about it. So for you, if you're trying to find these new avenues of pet portraiture, you got to make it like the thing you talk about and the centralized thing. Now, obviously, you don't want to go through and completely redo your website. Your website's great. You don't want to lose all that work. So you can literally just, go to carrd.com, or I don't know what the dot is, but Carrd is a great place to build a single page website. You can use it to put a bunch of examples up of your pet portraits, and then everywhere you talk about it, send them right there. The other thing is, you want to have one clear, very next action, right? So even on, it's good to give people options, like if they want to call you and all of that. But when it comes to your website, be really clear about like, hey, this is tell them step 1, step 2, step 3. And then like step 1 is you reach out to me. Step 2 is we talk about it. Step 3 is, you pay a deposit and I get started, or whatever your individual process is. You want to be really clear about what is that next thing they need to do on your website. Fill out this form, right? Like that is a lower barrier than send me an email. I promise you that. Like I have a panic attack when I click a button and all of a sudden I'm sending someone an email, which is probably like ridiculous, but I can't be alone in that experience. So just that would be my main advice to you right now, is if you are currently expanding and doing all of this discovery work, which I think is amazing, you need to have one central location that you're bringing it all to, that is very devoted specifically to those pet portrait clients you're trying to find. And to that, you don't even, on this single website, you don't even have to have any links to your murals, to your other work, blah, 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 any of that. Only focus on like what they want to know. Are you trustworthy? What's your work going to look like? And what do they get out of it? What's amazing about having these portraits done for them? And I think you'll have no problem getting that. And then my other piece of advice, or my other thought, I should say, about this, there's two more. One more. The first one is, and then I'll answer your specific questions. But the first one is, with all of this outreach to these different partners, it's a really great way to get your name out there and to get exposure. If you can find a way to take it one further step, one more relationship building. So, and I could be wrong about how I'm understanding this, but sort of what I'm understanding is you've kind of reached out and then left the postcards, which is amazing, I think. But have you created any sort of relationship with these guys? Have you created any mutually beneficial promotions, or found a way to serve their clients with them, right? Like, so it's a little bit, you don't want to just, I'm not trying to say like, just walk in and be like, hey, will you help me sell these things? Let's do a promotion together, right? That's kind of awkward. But if you can find a way to get their buy-in on what you're doing and find a really cool collaboration and partnership, then you might be able to leverage things a little bit more. Let me explain where this is coming from, and then you can make some creative decisions. But essentially, if you think about it, like it takes people like 7 times to see your work, or it takes people 12 or whatever. These numbers are not scientific, but they're referenced a lot in marketing and all of that. It takes people quite a few times of running into what you're doing and seeing what you do before they're even like able to register it and take notice of it and take action on it. So think about it, like if somebody goes to the vet and there's a little postcard there with your work on it, and they see that, that's one hit, right? That's one registration of it. if then they see that work because their vet posts about it on their social media or includes it in their newsletter, their email newsletter or something like that, oh, okay, now we've got another little hit, right? So you want to kind of find, how do we engage people where they're already at more than one time? So maybe you figure out, like, if you're an artist who is, and I'm not speaking directly to you, but just in general, if you're an artist who is building your portfolio currently, maybe offer to ask the vet, like, is there a pet owner and a pet who you would really love to gift a painting to or a portrait to? I would love to provide that if I could exchange it for being featured in your email newsletter, or if I can exchange it for being featured on your social media. Maybe we can do a video reveal and stuff like that, right? So if you can find these kind of partnerships, obviously that means you're doing work for, you're trading work for exposure, which I know I'm like, ugh, but you're the one in control and you're the one who's kind of deciding what the worth of it is. So think about it that way, right? Does that make sense? I think you guys probably are getting it. I have a tendency to over explain. So I'm going to pause it there. But yeah, keep that in mind. And then the next thing I would say, it's been a year, that is a long time to be trying and to not see any, momentum in it, or to see any change. That can be really frustrating. So, I would say keep trying, but my number one thing would be to check your messaging. So make sure you're speaking to things that they really care about. And the way I would do this is to talk to any past customers you have about, what do they care about when they're hiring art? Like, do they care that just ask them, like, what do you care about as artists? And this is not just artists alone, this is everyone in business. I promise you, I've consulted and coached, and this is across the board. We talk to people like we are talking to our peers. Our natural state of marketing, or our natural sort of like lean to, is to try to prove ourselves. I'm not saying that it's not like a personal flaw or anything like that, but most of us, like, the first time we write our website, we write it trying to validate that we are good artists. And that's okay. Like, I already think you are that way. I'm not, criticizing all of us for anything, because I've done it 100,000 times. But there's a switch, there's a change when you realize the person you want to talk to is your potential client. And it is not easy. When I write things for my website, I like literally put up a name of someone who loves my work so that I can keep remembering I'm talking to them. Because they know, and they know me, but they know who I am, and they know, like, I know what they care about, and I know how to talk to them. So I can focus on that person as opposed to focusing on, like, all the people who have ever denied me grants. Know what I mean? And, like, bless their hearts, they have a lot of decisions to make. I'm not criticizing anyone, but at the same time, like, if I go and do a website without being very conscious of who I'm talking to, inevitably I'll start like being like, I deserve to be here. So as artists, we have to be really aware of that. Check our messaging. Are we hitting the points that they care about? Okay. Let me think of a concrete example, because I know that'll help. I'm trying to think how to say this. So, like, oh, okay. So, like, when I'm selling live wedding painting, right? I could say something like, Kay is a professional artist who has been refining her skill and her craft for 10 plus years. Or Kay is an amazing artist who has lots of experience, blah, 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 refining her craft and all of this to paint your weddings. Right. So that is talking about me, but it doesn't connect it to them. Like, I'm trying to build trust, and I'm trying to, do some marketing language there of like experience, skill building, blah, 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 length of time that I've been doing this, but it doesn't connect it back to the clients. what it looks like when I connect it back to them is to say, Kay has been an artist for 10 plus years and has been refining her skills over all that time, so that when she comes to your wedding, you know you're going to get a great quality painting. See how I did that? I connected it to what they care about, right? If I'm just thinking about people who might be judging me, I might be thinking like, okay, they like, I just need to tell them that I've been doing this for 10 years and I swear to God I'm good, and like, ugh, and then that's it. But that's not it at all. Your real clients, they don't care. They want to know why it matters to them. And they don't have the same level of judgment or assumptions as we and our peers do. So when it comes to saying like your art for your pet portraits, right? It's like, I have practiced catching the twinkle in your pet's eye. Or I've mastered, let's say it like that. Okay, let's be like, Kay stands out in her pet portraiture because she really captures the spirit of the animal in the eye. Okay, like that's not terrible. At least I'm talking about some fun things. But listen to it more this way of like, your pet's personality will shine through because Kay focuses on capturing the sparkle in the eye. Right? So like, do you see how it does that? I'm shifting the perspective or the focus of the conversation to their experience and why they care. So I hope those examples were helpful for everyone. So just every artist out there, whatever you're selling, be thinking about this constantly. Okay, let's see here. This is getting a lot longer than I expected. I think I'm just going to turn it into a podcast episode. Okay. I said I had two more things. One, oh, okay. So yeah, the year-long struggle, man, I get it. It's a long time. Here's my other thought that I had thinking about your email. Have you reached out to any of your past mural clients? Have you talked to people that already have purchased from you? Because this is a really great opportunity to send them an email and say, hey, like blah, blah, blah. I've been making this shift in my life. Remember when I did this cool mural for you, la, la, la. And then just like, boom, lay it out there. Like I'm shifting, I'm, testing the market. I'm trying to see what's out there. I'm trying to feel it out. You don't have to go far into that, but just build some excitement about it, right? Like, hey, I've got this exciting new venture and I'm moving forward, but like, I remember where I came from and I don't know, just like whatever your language is, hype it up. But then you can ask them, do you want a pet portrait? I'm trying to build up my portfolio so I can give you a discount of $100 or $200 or whatever. Or you don't have to do that. Listen, you do not have to do discounts. Everyone out there, that's not how you do sales, but it is kind of an easy way to build excitement about something. But that's a different podcast episode. But you could do that, or just say like, yeah, would you be if maybe like offer them like, I'll frame it for you, or I'll do this, add a fun bonus to it, something that excites them. Maybe I'll send you a pencil sketch of the dog before I paint it, like you'll get an extra bonus of a little pencil sketch. I don't know, play with it. But maybe there's a way to kind of like, create a promotion out of it, but reach out to people who've already worked with you and already know your work and have already paid you. And then not only do you ask them for it, but you ask them to send it to someone else. Or say, hey, I would really love it if you could share this with your network. Like if you know people who love animals, let them know I'm doing this now. And then create a cool, just like you did for your shops, create like a cool little graphic that they can share and have it send with them. Okay. So that would be my other thought, is like, if we are having a super hard time finding new clients, make sure you are looking at those past clients and you're letting them know what's up so that they can help you to grow and gain awareness. And then the other thing is just figuring out how to sort of deepen those relationships with those potential partners. Heck, maybe one of them will let you come sit in the store on like a Saturday when everybody's walking around, or or, just play with it, but you want to maybe like find a slightly deeper hook with the ones who maybe resonated with you or you started building a relationship with. And I hope that this is helpful. I want you to know too, like, just persevere, keep trying, switch it up, test new things. If you do get clients, like when you do get clients, ask them how they found you. Always be checking in on that. We get nervous or we get scared. We don't want to pester them, but that is valuable information when you're in this discovery phase, right? You got to find it. But my main advice to you specifically is get yourself a single page website or add it on your website and just hide the navigation bar, whatever you need to do. But just get yourself one single page that is devoted to your portfolio of pet portraits, and that guides these people through specifically everything they might want to know or need to know. And then call to action, fill out this form. If you want people to send you an email, tell them exactly what to say in it. Like literally. Okay. And then you asked if people are holding on to their money because of the economy and all the political chaos. Girl, I'm not an economist. I really don't know. I have seen a pretty significant drop off in my wedding painting commissions. However, I've also talked to a lot of other wedding painting artists who are fully, completely booked. I got a coaching client who's booking them left and right. I haven't put any effort into my marketing for live wedding painting for about a year now. So I don't think it's I don't think I can judge on that. My pet portrait clientele, also, I haven't put a lot of work into it. I've been so focused on the Artist Guide to Business. However, I will tell you, I sold 3 in the last month from past clients. So the economy, everything, political chaos, it's weird. And people are nervous. When people are nervous, they don't necessarily spend their money. Here's how I always want to think about this. There is reality to all of that, right? There's reality to when things are a little bit confused or jostled or uncomfortable. People are going to be tighter with their wallets and they're not necessarily going to want to spend on luxury. However, there's also the situation where they want to start spending their money where they see it valuably spent. There's a big discourse right now about who we're spending our money with, right? So pay attention to that. Why might they want to spend their money with you in this time, right? Like that's kind of what are the values that people can live out by spending money on a pet portrait today? And some of those values, just off the top of my head, they're paying a real human artist. They're keeping the arts alive. They are celebrating the things that are very important to them in a world that feels chaotic, right? Like it's a concrete thing. Like, hey, the world outside is crazy, but at least you could have this like really beautiful reminder on your wall of someone who matters a lot to you, your pets, right? So anytime there's kind of this easy, or not easy, but this like, oh, nobody's spending money because of the economy, I want everyone, all of us as artists, to check our messaging first, because messaging is value alignment. It's how we tell them what's in it for them. People buy art because it feels good, because it gives them something, right? They don't buy it like they buy groceries. They don't buy it like they buy whatever, electronics. I don't know. They buy it because it fills something in their soul and in their heart, and it speaks to them and it tells them something about themselves too, right? So lean into those things. That's the way I would look at it. And I know that in 2020, when that pandemic hit, I don't know, but when that hit, people all were super focused on how to support artists. And it was actually kind of a good time to be an artist, as horrible as that is. People were talking about it. There was a lot of conversations around it. Ironically, as artists, when there's a lot of chaos and strife in the world around us, that's when we feel the most like, oh my gosh, what am I even doing? Like, I'm not doing anything to benefit this world. You are. You 100% are. art is one of the most important parts of being a human. Okay, it's a huge part of being having a wonderful civilization that celebrates beauty, that values, connection, that values important things, that values thoughts, all of this. So never doubt that your art is very impactful and important, even when things are crazy. And so that's my spiel about that. At the same time, it is a reality, right? Like, especially at certain price points. Ironically, higher price points may not be as disturbed as lower price points. Because if people are more comfortably or comfortable economically, they're in a different buying bracket, and so it might not, hurt them as much to spend money. Let's see here. But at the same time, I just said that, but like, I want to make sure you guys like don't try to just find people with money and think that that's how you get customers. You got to get to the heart of it, find your messaging. Okay. Have you experienced any slowdown with your pet portrait? We went over that. And then you asked, how much do I charge for a 16 by 20 canvas? So first off, I paint all my pet portraits on a 16 by 20 or on canvas panels. So they're flat. I'll just show you. You might like them because of the murals. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that loud noise, everyone. So here's an example of a canvas panel. I don't know if you'll be able to see the texture in this video, but it's gesso, or I think this one has canvas wrapped around a board. This is from Blick, but nowadays I use all ampersand and treacle. I love treacle. But there's canvas, and then you just paint right on it. Oh gosh, I use those for my pet portraits, namely because it's much easier to ship those. Anyway, that's not really what your question was. Your question was, how much do I charge? So for an 8x10, I charge $400. For the next size up, which is 12 by 16, 500, and the next size up, 16 by 20, I do 600. These are prices that I have noticed like fit really well with my clientele and my area. $600 is a stretch for most of my clientele. 500 is a bit of a stretch, but doable. And then 400 is almost always doable. And I'm not really willing to do it for less. Sometimes I have like a $125 portrait product that I'll put out, which is like a cute little illustration on a piece of paper. Those are fun too. I haven't done those for a while, but if it's someone who's younger or I don't know, depending on their situation, I might offer that just as a way to at least serve them, but yeah, those are my price points. How do I feel about them? They need to be updated. Like, if I was going to raise them with inflation, they would all probably be about $50 more. Again, I've been focused on the Artist Guide to Business, so I haven't really updated that. But I'm happy with those numbers. It just, to me, those numbers make sense when I think about the time, the effort, and all of it, Yeah. But as far as pricing for yourself goes, if you guys have the pet portrait bundle, go in there and read that section. I think I can share it with you. Let me see here. Yeah. I am upgrading the pet portrait business bundle right now, you guys, and it is coming together amazing. But let me see here. Pricing. So I won't share all of it with you guys because I want to honor people who have purchased it versus those who have not. Let me see here. So let me share. Here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, you want to just research your market, calculate all the true costs that go into it. And this takes you step by step to go through it all. Price points, how experienced are you? And then, sometimes you can start lower and then just expect to kind of raise it. So that's a pretty handy kind of guide for how to do some pricing calculations. I think also looking at other artists who are comparable to you is not a terrible idea. And then just, where you live. I mean, that makes a big difference. I would sell my live wedding painting for a few $100s less if I lived in an area that was more populated. But I'm so rural and it takes so much effort to get to these places usually that I have to charge the amount I have to charge, because usually it's like a 2 or 3 day thing every time. And because I don't have the population centers that a lot of other wedding portrait artists or painters have, I have less opportunity to make sales. So I actually have to charge more. So it's kind of opposite what you would think. Anyway, that's enough about that. I think I've answered all your questions. I have no idea how long this has been. I seriously thought this would be like 5 minutes. So let me just look. Okay. All right. So, thank you. I really appreciate you sending this email and asking me about this. And I want to honor you that I understand like a whole year it's been a long time for you to be working on this. Is that what you said it is, right? Yeah. I think too, you're new to the area, right? You've moved somewhere new. So that can take some time too to find some footing in there. But that also can be something you can sort of use to your advantage too. Hey, I'm new to the area and I love doing pet portraits. But you're going to do it. You're going to do great. Just keep working at it. Once you find, that's the other piece. Like once you find those first 2 or 3, 4 or 5 client buy-ins, like once five people really like buy in, make sure you get testimonials from them and social proof and take pictures of them opening it up and the whole emotional experience of it all, so that you can really start using that to get other people to trust you faster with their pet portrait needs, so they can really kind of boost you up that way. You'll get there. I believe in you. I hope that you will send me an email and update me in like 2 months or so. Maybe 3 months? 1 month? Oh, also, I don't know how often you were doing stuff, but if you have the Pet Portrait Business Bundle, which is now renamed the Complete Pet Portrait Business System, but let me show you here. I just added this and I'm super excited about it. There we go. Share screen. Oh, okay. Is it sharing? Great. I added this amazing thing here. 30 days of client finding actions. So you listed all the stuff you've been doing. Just make sure every day you keep doing stuff. Every single day until you get it. First, though, build yourself a website page, okay? That's focused on those pet portraits. But, personal network's a great place to start. Then we move to those local businesses that you talked about. Community engagement, past customers, I kind of mentioned that, your email list, and some other ideas here, All right, I'm going to end this, but one last thought, Mother's Day is coming up pretty soon here. So I don't know what everybody's turnaround time is like, but you could always offer that. Hey, Mother's Day is on its way. We know your mom's favorite, but mom's real favorite is her dog. It's true. So, so be her second favorite by getting her a portrait of her dog. Okay. This was fun. What were some other quotes? I got a couple other little emails. I love this one. I won't say her name. A different person wrote in and let me know that she does do a quick pencil sketch on the size of paper that people have ordered commissions from her. And then she will send that to her clients before she gets started on the final painting. That way, she says, that way they get to see the overall dimensions of the paper and the portrait. So great. In that email I talked about how I essentially don't give them anything. any progress of any sort. And eventually they just get a painting. No, I'm a little kidding there. I mean, yeah. But good. That's good. Find the ones that work for you. Serve your clients the way that you feel like is really serving them. My clients tend to not, they just want me to just do it, but there's definitely a lot of clients out there who would love to see a pencil sketch and have an opinion about it. So do it. Serve them. Let's see. There was one more. Oh, she just said, thank you. Looking forward to the systems for stress-free commissions. Maybe I shouldn't call it stress-free commissions, but reduced stressed commissions, So that'll be that full pet portrait business system that I'll be relaunching here soon. It's still for sale on my website, you guys, at store.theartistguidetobusiness.com. It's for sale right now for $99. That price is going up soon. I'm adding a lot to it. It's pretty amazing. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, and you saw a little bit of it there and you're thinking, I want that, now's the time. Okay. Wonderful. Keep them coming. Update me. Let me know what ends up working, I can't wait to hear more. And thank you for sharing all of your art with me. Thank you for sharing all of your experience with me. I'm really grateful to you. Have a good day. Keep creating. Talk soon. Bye.